The forbidden fruit, a timeless story. In the beginning, before cities and kingdoms, before sorrow and struggle, there was a garden so beautiful that no human language could fully describe it. The Garden of Eden was alive with color and music. Rivers flowed like silver ribbons through green fields. Flowers bloomed in every shade imaginable, and animals walked without fear. In the center of this perfect world lived the first humans, Adam and Eve. They knew no hunger, no pain, and no shame. Every morning they woke to golden sunlight filtering through the trees, and every evening they walked peacefully in the cool breeze. They had everything they needed. Food grew freely from the trees. Water flowed fresh and pure, and the presence of God filled the garden with peace. God gave them a simple command. "You may eat from every tree in the garden," he told them gently. "But there is one tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You must not eat from it. For the day you eat from it, you will surely die." Adam and Eve listened and understood. The garden was vast. Thousands of trees offered fruit sweeter than honey. Avoiding just one tree seemed easy, and for a time it was. The serpent's whisper. One quiet afternoon, Eve wandered near the forbidden tree. Its fruit looked beautiful, shining, almost glowing under the sunlight. She had passed it many times before without a second thought. But this time someone was waiting. A serpent rested on a branch, watching her with curious eyes. "Did God really say you cannot eat from any tree in the garden?" the serpent asked in a smooth, gentle voice. Eve shook her head. "No, we may eat from every tree except this one. God said if we eat from it, we will die." The serpent's voice softened. "You will not surely die. God knows that when you eat it, your eyes will be opened. You will be like Him, knowing good and evil." The words settled into Eve's mind like seeds. She looked at the fruit again. It was beautiful, perfect, desirable, and now mysterious. A thought she had never known before entered her heart, curiosity mixed with doubt. Why would God keep something good from us? The choice Eve reached out her hand slowly. The garden felt different, quieter, heavier, as if even the wind was holding its breath. She picked the fruit. For a moment she hesitated. She remembered God's words. She remembered the peace they had always known. But the serpent's voice echoed in her mind. "You will be like Him." She took a bite. The sweetness filled her mouth, but instead of joy, a strange heaviness fell upon her heart. She gave some to Adam, and he ate as well. In that instant, everything changed. The eyes opened. Their eyes were opened, but not in the way they expected. Suddenly they felt exposed, vulnerable. Emotions they had never known before flooded their hearts. They noticed their nakedness and quickly sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. The garden no longer felt like home. The air grew heavy with fear. When they heard God walking in the garden that evening, instead of running toward Him like they always had, they hid among the trees. "Adam, where are you?" God called. Adam's voice trembled. "I heard you, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God asked gently, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?" Silence filled the space between them. The truth could not be hidden. The consequences, Adam blamed Eve. Eve blamed the serpent. But the choice had already been made. God spoke with sorrow, not anger alone, but deep heartbreak. The serpent would crawl on its belly and face enmity forever. Pain and hardship would enter human life. Work would become difficult. Relationships would grow complicated. And most painful of all, Adam and Eve would have to leave the garden. Before they left, God made garments for them, a quiet act of care even in the midst of consequence. Then he sent them out into a world that would now hold both beauty and struggle. At the entrance to Eden, a flaming sword and cherubim stood guard, preventing their return to the tree of life. The garden faded behind them. The world ahead was unknown. A story of loss and hope. Adam and Eve stepped into a new life, one filled with labor, learning, love, and sorrow. The innocence they once had was gone, replaced by knowledge and responsibility. Yet even outside the garden, hope remained. Though they had made a mistake, they were not abandoned. God still watched over them. Humanity would grow, learn, fail, and rise again. And the story of the forbidden fruit would become more than just a tale of disobedience. It became a reminder of choice, of curiosity, of consequences, and of the deep love that continues even when humans fall short. Because from that moment onward, every person would carry the same question Adam and Eve once faced. Will we trust, or will we reach for what we believe will make us greater? And so the story lives on, not just in ancient pages, but in every decision we make today.